Hello and welcome to the B Conference Volleyball Championship between the Gerstel Falcons and the Glenelg Dragons. Before we announce our lineups, we will hear a national anthem. And with that, we will begin our B Conference Championship. First, we'll announce the non-starters, starting with the Dragons. We have number 3, Serena Soki. Number 5, Ndaya Dury. Number 8, Maya Perrin. Number 9, Eva Smith. Number 18, Olivia Wilson. Number 21, Caitlin Kennedy. And number 24, Raven Scott. Now for the starters for your Dragons. Number 4, Kennedy Cummins. Number 7, Kyla Wooten. Excuse me. Number 12, Annika Nielsen. Number 16, Grace Walker. Number 19, Peyton Russo. Number 22, Christina Melton. And number 28, Simone Hendricks. The Dragons are coached by Kate Ferguson. And now for the Gerstel Falcons. First, the non-starters. Number 2, Elena Devers. Number 5, Nadia Hogue. Number 12, Summer Beaumont. Number 14, Salma Trugador. Number 21, Natalie Delgado. And now the starters for the Falcons. Number 1, Rebecca Sprinkle. Number 4, Josephine Conley. Number 6, Megan Rudo. Number 7, Macy Uloa. Number 8, Leah Wilson. Number 11, Olivia Nigeris. And number 15, Alexis Skillot. I want to start off this broadcast with saying I apologize for any mispronunciation of any last or first names. I'm going based off the sheet I was given. And we will get the first set underway here. Gerstel Academy will be your home team. Glen Elg Country School will be your visiting team. To get here today, Glen Elg Country School beat St. Mary's. Glen Elg was ranked in the conference standings 4th, St. Mary's 1st. And Gerstel Academy beat John Carroll, who is ranked 3rd, Gerstel 2nd. The teams come to you today, Gerstel Academy with an overall record of 13-3, and Glen Elg Country with an overall record of 7-5. We're looking forward to some great volleyball here for the B Conference Championship. Gerstel making it back here for their 2nd year in a row, I believe. The Falcons head coach is Megan Fedoric. Again, I apologize for these names. I'm a little new here. But we'll get through it together. Both school sections are full, and we're looking to have a great game here. Starting with a Dragon serve from number 4, Kennedy Cummins. We got a back and forth volley here between the Dragons and the Falcons. Up to our setter with a nice hit, and it's in for number 12 from the Glen Elg Dragons, Annika Nielsen with the first spike of the game. Serving again is Cummins. And she will clock in with her first ace of the set. Came off the hands wrong of Megan Rudo for the Falcons. Falcons looking to side out here. Cummins with the serve. We've got a hit outside from Leah Wilson. Dragons return it, and Falcons end up with the point, thanks to their front line. Serving for the Falcons is number 8, Leah Wilson. A great hit from number 22, Christina Melton for the Dragons, sending them up another point, 3-1. Serving for the Dragons, Simone Hendricks. And the Falcons win that point, sending in their subs. I apologize for the score mix-up. It is 3-2, Dragons over the Falcons. In to serve for the Falcons is number 7, Macy Uola. Off the fingers of Melton, and that's an ace for Uloa. I apologize. Tying it up. Uloa to serve. Cummins puts it up. Grace Walker with the hit on that, and unable to return is the Falcons. Ball back to the Dragons. to serve is Melton for the Dragons. Outside hit coming from the Falcons. Number 12, Summer Beaumont. And into the net goes the Dragons. That point's awarded to the Falcons. Serving for the Falcons is their libero, Josephine Connolly. And an ace for Conley, sending them into the lead 5/4. Conley to serve. Cummins gets it up. Out to the setter, Hendricks. They send it over. Falcons back to the Dragons. Unfortunate tip there from Annika Nielsen on the Dragons. Point, Falcons. Conley to serve. Hendricks with the ball over. Receiver pass from Kyla Wooten. Kyla Wooten follows it to the line, and out of bounds it goes. Dragons side out, making it 6-5 Falcons. Back to serve for the Dragons, Nielsen. Up and over it goes. Gerstel keeps it in play. Out to Beaumont for the Falcons. Wooten sends it back over with force. Falcons free ball. Hendricks up and over. Point, Gerstel. Serve came in from number 15, Alexis Jalot for the Falcons. Falcons get it up outside to Beaumont, who's unable to convert on that hit. Point, Dragons. Back to serve for the Dragons is Grace Walker. Ball's up for the Falcons. Free ball coming in. Walker to Hendricks. Hendricks to the outside to Wooten. Wooten with the spike. Nice block from the Falcons. They recover. Back set out. Hendricks to Cummins to a 10 from Nielsen. Another spike coming the other way from the Falcons from Beaumont, and she can't get it in bounds. Tying it up at 7s across the board. Dragons Walker to serve. Falcons get it up. Set comes from Jalot. Wooten tries to recover, but sends that ball sailing out of bounds, bringing the Falcons up 8-7. Substitutions for both teams. In to serve for the Falcons is number 6, Megan Rudo. She sends that ball sailing to the back wall. Tied up. Wooten to serve for the Dragons. Another one up and sailing to the back wall. Back to serve for the Falcons is Rebecca Sprinkle. Sprinkle serves it in. Hendricks with the back set. Falcons recover. Hendricks gets it to the outside for Nielsen. Nielsen with the hit, and the block comes from Nigers, and it looks like Leah Wilson. The two of them connect on a perfect block, bringing Gerstel up 10-8. Back to service Sprinkle for the Falcons. Great play up to Hendricks for the set. The spike, and another block for the Falcons. Melton connected with that ball perfectly for the Dragons. Sprinkle to serve for the Falcons. And off the arms of Grace Walker, that gives the ace to Sprinkle and the Falcons. Timeout, Dragons. And we're back after the timeout by the Dragons. Back to serve for the Falcons. Rebecca Sprinkle. She gets the ball up. Over to the Dragons. Hendricks with the outside set for Melton. Melton with the spike and off the fingers of the Falcons, and it hits the floor. Point, Dragons. Back to serve for the Dragons is Cummins. Good play by the Falcons. They get it up and over from number 7, Macy Uloa. We got a double hit here from the Dragons, awarding the point to Gerstel. Back to serve for Gerstel is number 8, Leah Wilson. Hendricks sets the outside to Melton. Melton with the spike. The dig from the Falcons. The set, another spike, and in for number 11, Olivia Nydries. Great spike on the back line, making it 14-9. Falcons serve the Dragons. Falcons with a great pancake again from Nydries. Up and over, causing confusion on the Dragon side, allowing another point for Gerstel. (15-9) here in the first set. Falcons lead the Dragons. Dragon gets the ball up. Melton out and over. The set to the outside for number 7. Set up and over. Cummins keeps it up. Hendricks sets the outside. Melton with the spike. Libero Conley with the dig. Unfortunately went into the net and her team couldn't dig it out. Side out Glenelg. Back to serve for the Dragons is Hendricks. Rudo gets it up. Out. Back to Uloa for a hit. Hendricks back sets. Walker. Great hit by Libero Conley on the Falcons. Uloa again with a spike. Melton, spike, kill down the back line. She's been waiting for that. Back to serve, Hendricks for the Dragons. That ball sails. Conley with the pass. The hit came from Alexis Jalot. Couldn't make it over the net. Dragons 12, Falcons 15. Hendricks to serve. And Rudo walks it to the line. Out of bounds, Dragons, point Gerstel. Substitution made here for the Falcons. In for Rudo is Summer Beaumont. Back to serve is Uloa. Ace for Uloa. Miscommunication between Cummins and Melton. Ball gets played into the net here by the Dragons. Number 16, Walker. Point Gerstel. Uloa continues to serve for the Falcons. Hendricks keeps it alive. Cummins to Hendricks, to the outside to Melton. Melton with the spike. And into the net it falls. 19-12, Gerstel. Gerstel's blockers are getting there quick, adding that next level of intimidation to the outside hitters for the Dragons. Uloa to serve, and into the net goes the serve. And Glenelg with the side out. Back to serve is Melton. Ball is played up to the Falcons' front line. That hit comes in and out of bounds for number 15, Alexis Jalot. Dragons point. Back to serve is Melton. Ball is up and over. That spike comes from number 7, Kyla Wooten. Dragons making a run here. Melton serve. Falcons get it up. The set goes the outside to Jalot. Keeping it in play is Walker. Cummins outside set to Wooten. Wooten plays. Falcons keep it in the air. Conley outside set. Nice block by the Dragons. Outside set to Nielsen. Nielsen can't get her wrist snapped on it. I apologize, Beaumont. Beaumont could not get her wrist snapped on it. And it remains Dragons ball. Melton the serve. Conley with the pass. Beaumont hits it over. Walker out to Wooten. Dragons keep it in play here. Cummins with a free ball over. Conley up to Wilson. They play the ball. Outside hit. Just too far away from the net to make that happen for Jalot and the Falcons. Dragons closing the gap here, making it 19-17. To serve is Melton. Ball comes in, into the net. Falcons get it over. And timeout, Falcons. Dragons claw their way back into the game, making it a 1-point set. As we come out of the timeout here, Melton will continue to serve for the Dragons. Looking to tie this up in set number 1 of the B Conference Championship here at Stevenson University. Up to Wilson. Bump set spike for the Dragons, number 12, Nielsen, with a kill that ties this game up. Melton back to serve. Conley to Wilson, outside to Beaumont. Dragons return, and Nielsen sticks it on the back line, letting the Dragons into the lead over the Falcons. Melton to serve. Conley to Wilson. Wilson up. Back and forth volley here. Wilson up to Conley. Conley to the outside for Jalot. Jalot with the hit. Back row spike. Wooten sends it over. It looks like they said one of Gerstel's players was in the net, so they award the point here. Or over the net, I apologize. So it looks like the point's being awarded to the Dragons, who run away with it, 21-19. Melton with the serve and the ace for the Dragons. And timeout, Falcons. 1 minute timeout. We'll be right back. And we're back. Still in set number 1 for this B Conference Championship. Melton to serve for the Dragons. She gets it into play here. Falcons with the set. Cummins. Set for Kyla Wooten. Falcons with a free ball over to the Dragons. Hendricks up to Walker. Nielsen over and off the arms of the Falcon, making it 23-19. Melton continues her serving streak here for the Dragons. Ball comes up, nice block. Beaumont couldn't find the inside of the court. Bring the Dragons to game point here for the first set. Once again, Melton with the serve. And an ace to round out set 1 here in the B Conference Championship. The Dragons take the first set, 25-19. We'll step away for 3 minutes and come back for set 2. And welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're here for the B Conference Championship between the Gerstel Falcons and the Glenelg Dragons. The Dragons took the Falcons in the first set, 25-19. Going into the second set, serving will be the Falcons. Number 8, Leah Wilson, will start us off. Melton gets to Hendricks. Hendricks tips it over. Point Gerstel, looks like a double hit on the ball. Gerstel with the point. Wilson to serve. Cummins up. Hendricks back sets to Russo. That is Nairgees with the tip over on the Dragons, making it 2-0. Wilson to serve. That ball flies off of Walker and into the net. Hendricks just not able to save that one. Too close to the ref stand. Wilson to serve. Cummins up to Hendricks. Hendricks to the outside for Melton. Melton with the spike. Falcons with the block. Libero Conley sets it over. Error for the Dragons results in a point for number 7 on Gerstel. Macy Yoloa. Wilson serve. Cummins sets up Melton on the outside. Melton just a hair out of bounds, allowing the Falcons to go on a 5-0 run. Coming back with vengeance in the second set. Wilson to serve for the Falcons. Walker puts it up to Hendricks. Hendricks to the outside for Melton. Melton with the spike. Falcons with the save. Out to Yoloa. Sends it over. Hendricks sets up number 19 for the Dragons, which is Peyton Russo. Melton tries to get it over to the best of her ability, and it doesn't cross the top pole. We got a timeout from the Dragons after a 6-0 run from the Falcons. Quick 1-minute timeout for the Dragons. Gerstel's made their way back to the floor. The serve will stay with Wilson on the Falcons. Cummins gets that one up. Melton with the hit. Unfortunately, the Falcons unable to play that one out of the net, giving the Dragons their first point of the second set. Back to serve again for the Dragons is Cummins. Ball's up. Wilson with the set. Back to Yoloa. Cummins up to Hendricks. Sets it outside for Melton. Melton with the spike. Conley with the dig. Wilson back sets Jalote. Outside to Yoloa. Yoloa with the dink. Played out of the net is Hendricks. Walker sends it over. Hendricks sets up Nielsen. And the Falcons return it with an outside set to Jalote, who just kills that ball on the near sideline, making it 7-1. Some subs for the Falcons. Back to serve is Yoloa. Dragons get it up to Hendricks. Hendricks sets Nielsen. Conley with a diving dig. Jalote across the court again. Walker with the save. Hendricks sends it over. Conley's up to Wilson. Wilson sets Beaumont. I apologize. Nargis, who hits it just a smidge too far. Point Dragons. Hendricks to serve. Ball comes up. Nielsen's up to hit it. Number 21 is in for the Falcons, Natalie Delgado. Conley with a hit into the net. Unfortunately, Dragons get the point. Delgado has found her way in for Yoloa. Back to serve for the Dragons is Hendricks. Off the fingertips of Delgado, making it an ace for the Dragons. Closing this gap, 7-4. Hendricks stays with the serve for the Dragons. she sends it sailing out of bounds. Side out for Gerstel, 8-4. Conley back to serve for the Falcons. Up and over, Cummins with the dig. The set on the outside by Wilson, hit by Melton, returns no good from Delgado, and the Dragons bring home another point. Some made Kyla Wooten in for number 3, Serena Soki. Melton to serve. Conley up to Wilson, into the net. Wilson can't dig it out. Dragons come within 2. Last time Melton served, they won. They took it home in the first set. Conley's up. Wilson with the back set. Out to Jalot. Jalot with the tip over. Cummins keeps it up. Walker to Nielsen. Conley with the dig. Wilson back set to Jalot. Jalot over Melton dig. Walker back over to the Falcons. That's Yoloa with a line bending spike. Oh, I apologize. That is Rebecca Sprinkle with the spike and the kill on that hit. Hendricks digs it out. Walker up to Wooten. Can't quite get there. And Gerstel winds the lead. Serving for the Falcons is Jalot. Walker and Cummins try to help that one get out of the net. No can do. Ball was out of bounds on the pole. Gerstel brings home another point. Jalot to serve. Off the arms of Hendricks, miscommunication there, and it's an ace for the Falcons. Serve from Jalot. Cummins up to Walker, to the outside for Wooten. Wooten keeps it in. Sprinkle keeps it alive on the Falcons side. Beaumont with the kill for the Falcons, making it 13-6, keeping Jalot as your server. Cummins up to Hendricks, who sets Wooten on the outside. Falcons return it. Nice tip. Nielsen sends it over and out of bounds for the Dragons. Point Falcons. Jalot to serve for the Falcons. Melton up to Hendricks. Hendricks with the nice set for Nielsen. Nielsen with the spike, and that one is in. She finds the hole on the Falcons side of the court. Nielsen to serve. Jalot with the set. Beaumont with the hit. Melton sets Wooten. Big block from Sprinkle and Wilson for the Falcons, making it 15-7. Now Rudo and Yoloa make their ways back in. Rudo to serve for the Falcons. And that ball just makes it out of bounds for the Dragons. Walker to serve. Little dink over the net. Falcons keep it alive. Wilson sends it over. Hendricks out to Wooten. Wooten with the spike and the kill. Walker to serve. Off the hands of Yoloa, keeping it an ace for the Dragons. Walker to serve. Conley up to Jalou. Outside to Yoloa. Cummins gets it back up to Hendricks. Outside to Wooten. Wooten dinks it over the top and out of bounds it goes. Widening the gap, 16-10 for the Falcons over the Dragons. Sending Sprinkle back to serve for the Falcons. That sails right into the net. Point Dragons. Conley back in for the Falcons. Wooten takes the serve for the Dragons. A heater that tips the net and falls on the floor of the Falcons' side of the court. Ace for Wooten. She'll head back to serve again. And she does it again. Her second ace in a row. Really swinging the momentum here. And making the gap just 3 points. Wooten to serve. Conley up to Jalou. Jalou back to Wilson. Dragons can't keep it alive. Gerstel with the point. Back to serve for the Falcons is Wilson. That ball sails out of bounds on the Dragons side, making it a 3-point game. And back to serve for the Dragons is Cummins. Falcons walk it to the line and out of bounds, that ball sails. Yoloa back to serve for the Falcons. In for Rudo is Beaumont. Yoloa sends that ball up and an ace for Yoloa and the Falcons. Widening the gap by 5 here in the second set of the B Conference Championships. Yoloa sends it over. Hendricks sends it up. Nielsen with the dink. Conley pushes it over. Hendricks outside sets Melton. Melton with the spike. Dig by Yoloa. Nielsen gets up and sends the ball right back down the throat to the Falcons, bringing them up to 15. Back to serve for the Dragons is Hendricks. Beaumont gets the ball up to Wilson. Wilson back set to Jalou. Nice block from the Dragons. Another hit from Beaumont into the net, and the Dragons get the point. Hendricks to serve. Conley, ball up to Wilson. Wilson back sets Jalou. Jalou with the hit. Hendricks with the dig. And it seems to be some confusion. Dragons ball looks like a double hit over here. So they're saying the ball was not touched by the Dragons at the net before the Falcons touched it again on their side of the court. Dragons closing in on the Falcons here in the second set. Hendricks up to serve. Ball comes in. Conley. Beaumont. Conley, can she get it over? No. Good hustle play from the Falcons. Unfortunately, not the result they wanted. And a timeout from the Falcons. We'll be right back. Hendricks will remain with the serve for the Dragons. Looking to tie this game up here in the second set. Big serve over. Delgado up to Wilson. Block came from Melton. Tying it up here, 19 across the board. Hendricks to serve. Delgado up to Wilson. Wilson up with a dink coming from Nairgees. And she will sub out. Bringing Sprinkle in. Sending the Falcons up by 1. Conley to serve. Cummins up to Walker. Walker to the outside for Melton. Melton with a small dink. Jalote plays it. Wilson sets it. Sprinkle dinked it. Back out to Melton. No touch from the Falcons before Melton touched again. That's Falcons' point. 21-19. Dragons looking to side out. Conley looking to continue a run. Ball comes in. Cummins has it up to Walker. Out to the outside. Melton with the spike. Delgado with the dig. Wilson to set. Spike comes from Jalote. Melton sends a free ball over. Conley to Wilson. Out to Beaumont. Beaumont. Hendricks with the save. Jalote with the dink over to Soki. Soki plays it up. Hendricks outside set for a free ball from Melton. Delgado up to Wilson. Looking for a spike from Sprinkle, and it's just out of bounds. Bringing the Dragons again within 1. Sub, Wooten comes in for Soki. Melton to serve once again towards the end of the set. Delgado keeps that ball up. Wilson to the outside. Beaumont with the dink. Melton keeps it in the air. Nielsen slams it over and finds the middle. Tying this game up, 21-21. Melton to serve. Delgado up to Wilson. Wilson out to Beaumont. Beaumont with the spike, and she finds a hole on the Dragons' side, making it 22-21 Falcons. Serve comes up from Jalote, and that ball sails just shy of inbounds. Tying it up once again. Back to serve for the Dragons, Nielsen. And in for the Dragons is Russo for Cummins. Jalot outside set Sprinkle. I apologize, Wilson. Outside sets Wilson. Wilson with the hit and the kill. Back to serve for the Falcons, Rudo. Rudo sails just wide of the court. Back to serve is Walker. Walker sends it right back, making it game point for the Falcons. Back to serve. Dragons call a timeout. Back to serve for the Falcons when we return after this 50-second timeout will be Rebecca Sprinkle. We're back here for game point for the Falcons. Back to serve for the Falcons, game point is Sprinkle. She sends it into the net. 24-24. Back to serve for the Dragons is Wooten. She sends it high over. And down on the floor for Conley. Dragons take set 2, 25-24. We'll be right back in 3 minutes with set 3. I apologize. Game is a win by 2. We're back. It was a timeout. Wooten to serve. Into the net. Gerstel. 25-25. Volleyball is a must win by 2. Serve from Wilson comes up and out. Dragons serve for game point here. Come and serve. Conley gets that ball up. Wilson recovers. Jalot with the hit. Soki up to Hendricks. Hendricks outside to Melton. Melton sends it over. Wilson sends it up. Conley sets outside Jalot. Good block from the Dragons. Wilson sends it over. Hendricks to the outside for Melton. Rudo with the dig. And that's Nigis with the kill for Gerstel, tying it back up at 26. Yoloa with the serve. Beaumont in for Rudo. And there comes an ace for Yoloa. 27-26, game point here for the Falcons.
Excuse me, where are the restrooms?
Sorry for that interruption. Tied it up is the Dragons. Serving is Hendricks. Back to Delgado. Delgado sends it into the net. The Dragons pull ahead by 1. Now it's game point Dragons. Hendricks with the serve, lofting it up and out. Tying this game back up, 28s across the board. Conley to serve. Sprinkle comes in for the Falcons. Cummins up to Walker. Walker to Cummins for a free ball over. Delgado to Wilson. Sprinkle with the dink off the hand of Nielsen. Falcons go up 29-28. Game point here for the Falcons. Conley to serve. Cummins up to Walker. Walker to the outside. Melton. Melton with the spike. Delgado with the dig. Communication fell apart for the set. And just like that, the Dragons tie it up at 29. Back to serve is Melton. Delgado shanks it out to the side, making it game point Dragons. Dragons take the second set. 31-29. We'll step away and be right back with set 3. We're back with set 3. Here at the B Conference Championship for the IAAM. The Dragons have taken the first 2 sets. The serve goes back to the Dragons, starting with number 4, Kennedy Cummins. Solid serve off the bat. 1 time over for the Falcons. Hendricks out to Melton. Melton with the spike. Dig comes from the Falcons. Wilson sends it over. Walker up to Hendricks. Hendricks to Nielsen. Nielsen with the spike. The dig comes from Jalot. Wilson with the save and sending it over is Conley. Hendricks sets Nielsen up again, and she finds that hole in the middle of the court on the Falcons. Dragons put the first point on the board for set 3. Cummins to serve. Rudo with the pass up. Out of bounds here on Uloa, sending the Dragons up 2-0. Cummins to serve. Rudo up to Jalot. Conley with a 10. Great hit. Walker up to Hendricks. Melton with the spike. And Conley couldn't get it to stick. Melton with a heck of a hit out there on the outside for the Dragons. Keeping these Dragons on a 3-0 run from the Falcons. Cummins to serve. Conley sends a free ball over. Cummins up to Hendricks. Melton with a spike and a kill. Dragons did a little fake out. Nielsen pretending to go up in the middle. Melton actually received the ball on the outside from Hendricks, and she buried it in the back of the Falcons' court. 4-zip. Cummins with the serve. Falcons just not looking like they were ready to receive. Ace for Cummins. Cummins to serve. Ball's good. Conley with the shank. And another ace to Cummins' tally. A big run here for the Dragons coming off of a 2-set win. Cummins with the serve. Conley sets it up to Jalot. Jalot to the outside to Wilson. Wilson with the smack. Soki with the dig. Pass up to Hendricks. Hendricks sets outside Melton. Good block here from the Falcons. Hendricks back up to Nielsen. Nielsen once again finds the back of the court. The Dragons here on a 7-0 run. I think that's the biggest we've seen in this match. Falcons looking to freeze Cummins a bit. Figure out their lapse of communication in the back row and try to fill those gaps, knowing that Nielsen's at the front ready to hit. So is Melton. Cummins back to serve for the Dragons. False start for the Dragons, but I think it was a referee mix-up. Now we're ready to roll. Cummins with the serve. Conley gets it out to Jalot. Jalot up to Nyerges. Melton with a crazy kill in the back. And the Falcons just unable to return a pass. Cummins with the serve. Wilson up to Jalot. Outside to Ulola. And it looks like it was a tip from the Dragons, finally giving the Falcons their first point on an 8-0 run from the Dragons. Back to serve for the Falcons. Up first is Wilson. Looking to get a burst of momentum here. Cummins up to Hendricks. Hendricks outside sets Melton. Melton with the spike. Conley with the dig. Wilson outsets Yoloa. Free ball over. Cummins with the pass to Hendricks. Hendricks sets Nielsen. Nielsen with the hit. Wilson with the dig. Outside hit. Jalot. Soki able to pass that ball up. Dragons having each other's back there at the front of the net. Conley outside hit Jalot. To Jalot, I apologize. Melton with the block. It looks like it tipped off the Falcons' hands. Points awarded to the Dragons. Hendricks to serve for the Dragons. Conley gets it up. Outside of Jalot, she pushes over. One of those little slow pitch balls that'll get you every time. The Dragons just unable to time their jump there for the block. Ball goes to the Falcons. Yoloa serving for the Falcons. Walker, ball up. Melton with the hit. Beaumont plays it up. Conley to the outside for Jalot. Jalot with the hit. Block coming in from the Dragons. Conley sets Wilson up. Soki with the pass. Walker gets the ball up and over. And to the floor it falls for the Falcons. Going up 10-2 here. The Dragons take over the Falcons. Soki out, Wooten in. Yoloa out, Delgado in. Melton with the serve. Delgado up to Wilson. Wilson to the outside for Beaumont. And a crazy block from Nielsen and Walker at the front of the net. The Dragons have the fire in their breath now. And they are heating up this court. I jinxed them. Melton serves into the net. Gerstel gets 3 on the board. Back to serve for the Falcons is Conley. Up and over an ace she gets. Communication breakdown in the back line here from the Dragons. They're going to talk about it. Conley still to serve for the Falcons. Off the arms of Hendricks. Cummins with the save. Melton sends it over. Delgado sends it up to Wilson. Wilson sends it into the middle for Sprinkle, and Sprinkle just can't get her wrist snapped. Giving the point to the Dragons. Nielsen's back to serve for the Dragons. Delgado sends it up to Wilson. Wilson sends it back to Jalot, I apologize. Out to Wooten for a spike. Delgado. Beaumont sends it up and over. Looks like that point will go to the Falcons. Line judge called it in. So back to serve for the Falcons is Jalot. Cummins up to Walker. Walker to Wooten, and Wooten into the net. Falcons get the point. Sending Jalot back to serve for the Falcons. Hendricks sends it up to Walker. Walker out to Wooten. Wooten hits the pole, out of bounds. The Falcons climbing, clawing their way back up within a 5-point deficit. Jalot to serve. Out it goes. 13 for the Dragons. Back to serve is Walker. Delgado with a diving save. Conley sends it over. Hendricks out to Wooten. Wooten with the kill, and she gets it. Tipping the net a tad and maybe the fingers of the Falcons. That ball finds the floor right in the middle of the Falcons' defense. Walker to serve. She sends it up and over. Beaumont to Jalot. Hendricks out to Wooten. Wooten with another kill, and she gets it. Off the hands of the Falcons. Not sure how to play that great hit from outside hitter Wooten. Back to Walker for the serve. Beaumont gets it up to Wilson. Gets it outside. Oh, I apologize. Wilson with the hit on that. Beaumont got it to Jalot. Falcons ball. Jalot back to Wilson. Wilson with a stinger in the back corner. In for Gerstel to serve is Elena Devers. Melton up to Hendricks, out to Wooten. Wooten with a spike, sails into the net. Little off the timing there. Falcons come within 5. Devers to serve. Melton up to Hendricks. Hendricks sets up Wooten. Wooten with the hit. She finds a spot right behind the block on the same side, keeping it in bounds, sending the Dragons to 16 over the Falcons. Wooten heads back to serve. Ball comes in hot. Hendricks sends it back. Wooten sends it into the net. Nyergy's back for the Falcons. Sprinkle serving for the Falcons. Walker up to Hendricks. Hendricks on the outside to Melton. Melton with the hit. And in! She stings the near side line, making it 17-11 over the Falcons. Great diving attempt here from the Falcons. Cummins back up to serve. She gets it up and over. Rudo gets it up to the front line. Jalot sends it over. Cummins to Hendricks to Nielsen. Nielsen with the spike. Falcons able to keep it up. Melton keeps it over. Big hit from Ulloa. Sails out of bounds. Dragons go up 18-11. Cummins to serve. Conley up to Jalot, out to Wilson, and out of bounds it goes. "19 Dragons, 11 Falcons. Timeout Falcons. We'll be back in 50 seconds. Back to serve for the Dragons is Cummins. She sends it up and over, just nicks the net and finds the floor, making it 20-11, the Dragons. Cummins, round 2. Another ball catches the net and just nearly makes it over to the Falcons' side. Making it 21-11, Dragons. Cummins to serve. Rudo to Conley. Free ball from Jalot. Walker to Hendricks, outside to Melton. Melton with a spike. Rudo with a dig. Conley sends it over. Walker returns. Up to Hendricks, to Nielsen. Unfortunate timing for the front line here of the Dragons. Making it 21-12. Dragons still over the Falcons. Falcons to serve, Wilson. Wilson sends it out of bounds on the far sideline, making it 22-12 Dragons. Back to serve for the Dragons now is Hendricks. She sends it up and over. Conley up to Wilson. Wilson outside to Jalot. Jalot back. Soki with the pass up. Melton over to Walker. Walker dinks it over the top. Conley with a diving dig. Wilson out to Jalot. Nice block here from the front line of the Dragons. Hendricks sends it up to Walker, to Nielsen. Nielsen didn't get a full snap on the ball. Sends it just out of bounds on the back sideline. Back end line, my apologies. 22-13, Falcons go to serve. Yoloa to serve. Soki puts it up. Walker sets Melton on the outside. Melton with the hit. Conley up to Wilson. Now Walker to the outside for Melton. Melton. Great play here by Nielsen. Falcons keep it in play. Hendricks up to Walker. A little too far. Beaumont's there to meet her. Beaumont sticks it to the Dragons in the corner of the court. 14 for the Falcons. Still to serve is Yoloa. Cummins up to Walker. Walker to the outside to Melton. Melton with the hit. Yoloa with the dig. Nielsen's there to greet it. Melton puts it up. A combined dink from Nielsen and Walker, sending the Dragons to 23 over the Falcons. Wouldn't you look, Melton's up to serve again. She gets it up and over. Delgado gets it up to Wilson. Wilson to the outside for Beaumont. Beaumont gets it over. Melton to Walker. Walker dinks it over. Conley gets it up to Wilson. Wilson back sets Jalote. A little back and forth over the net. Back to Wilson. Outside set for Beaumont. Melton gets it up to Walker. Walker to the outside for Wooten. Wooten with a smash and a kill. Making it game point for the Dragons. The Dragons crowd all has up one finger. Melton with the serve. Delgado up to Wilson. Wilson for a set with Nigers. Nielsen with the block. Wilson back sets Jalote. Hendricks up to Walker. Walker to Nielsen. Nielsen with the spike. And the Falcons can't return it. Nielsen seals the deal for the Dragons. 25-14, the Dragons sweeping the Falcons in just 3 sets here in your B Conference Championship. We will stick around for awards. I will turn the sound down. I will leave the video running. You'll be able to watch the award presentation. Congratulations to both teams for making it this far. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.